Let me know, guys, if you've heard about the Utah monolith. Please just say yes in the chat room in YouTube and on Facebook if you heard about it. Have you heard about the Utah monolith? I'm waiting for a couple of people to answer. And the question is, okay, I'll let you guys answer if you want to, but let me give you a little story, okay? So the Utah monolith showed up, right? Let me get some images up for you. Let's make this a little more interactive. And I'm not going, since I'm going live, I'm like doing this spur of the moment, and I literally like just like shaved in 2 seconds just to sit on my chair and just to talk to you guys, because this is so important. It's just got to be raw, really. Okay, so here we go. Here's the Utah monolith, right? So the whole entire thing is about a month ago, this monolith showed up. This monolith right here showed up in Utah. What was happening is that this guy right here and a couple other people were in their helicopter, and they were counting, I think it was goat, right? In Utah, within the canyons, they were counting the goat for the regulating agency in regards to animals and stuff in that area. So as they were flying over, they actually go ahead and discover something. And what they see is this, right? They're looking overhead, they see that, and they land. And what is it? It's this monolith. So at first, people were like, oh my God, this is so interesting. It could be alien. And then pretty soon it went into this this, first of all, two individuals. They went there and they actually removed the monolith. So they said, and they had images and they put it up on the internet of them removing and dissecting the monolith. These two individuals were YouTube influencers, and they were YouTube influencers for the environment, right? Environmental protection. So what the whole thing was is that they were upset that somebody desecrated this area that you're not allowed to with an art piece. And even though it was a beautiful art piece, they had to take it down and dissect it. So we see that image. And then soon after that, another artist organization and company says, hey, we put the monolith up there. And then all of a sudden, it's just known that, and all over the US, it's just pushed out that these are the guys that created it. However, there's so many holes in this story. They pretty much did not create it. And after they said they created it, they went ahead and put a website up in which they were selling monoliths for $45,000. So they jumped onto the bandwagon of this monolith thing, and they were like, damn, people are going to want monoliths. Let's go ahead and put up this website and sell them for 45 G's. But little do most people know is what happened after this monolith. All of a sudden, one day it disappeared, right? We hear this information about these guys that took it and dissected it, right? And then we hear that this other individual put it up there. But what some of us do not know is that the day it disappeared, the monolith appeared in Romania. Let's see. Monolith, Romania. Boom. The day it disappeared, the day it disappeared, the day it disappeared, it showed up right here in Romania. The quote or something like, I forget what the mayor of the town in Romania said something, and he said that he's honored that the aliens chose Romania in order to put the monolith there, right? However, a few days later, the monolith disappears. Boom. Monolith here. A few days later, where did you go? But guess what? It appeared somewhere else. As you can see here, after Romania, it disappeared, and within seconds, it gets discovered in California. But if you think that's not enough, it kept going around the entire world hundreds of times. Hundreds of times, guys. It kept disappearing and showing up everywhere. And this is like common, like out there. They just don't show it to you. You just go look for it and you'll find out. The monolith went everywhere, dude. Let me see if I can find some other places. Okay. So there's not going to show me unless I know the actual locations. So let's go here. So here's the Utah monolith. And then it kept moving. So we have Utah, Romania, then California, then it went to the Netherlands, then it went to England, then it went to Pennsylvania, then it was in Vegas, and then it was in California again. And this is now the running list of all the places the monolith showed up. Look at this: India, Morocco, Europe, Belgium, Czech Republic, Finland, France, Germany. Look at all these dates, all of them in December, all of them back to back. Hungary. Look how many times it showed up in Germany. It showed up in Germany 10 different times on different dates and different locations. Hungary, Italy, Netherlands, many places in all these places. Norway, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, United Kingdom, Ukraine, North America, a bunch of places. And the list really goes on. Lots of places. And then we have Australia too. We have Panama. We have Bolivia. All right. So I'm not someone that's going to like just tell you something that could have any doubt in my mind that this is something that's real that's going on. I would never go live on. I don't go live on anything that there's a doubt on in my head. I've looked into this and I've discovered that the monolith people that are saying it's not the monolith, there's a million holes in their stories. Like they are just BSing. But then you see a deliberate stop from the largest search engine in the world to make sure that the content about this monolith stops at Romania. So I'm gonna stop my screen share for a minute and like look at you guys directly because I want to tell you about this. No, it was okay. It was the same monolith almost all the time, but sometimes it was black and sometimes it had inscriptions. So the monolith would disappear somewhere and then it would reappear somewhere else. Most of the time, it was the exact same thing. But then, after a few times, like multiple times of showing up, what started happening is the monolith started appearing with inscriptions on it, right? So we have a monolith that was in we have a monolith that was in what was it called? I forget the area now, but there was a monolith that had three inscriptions on it of different locations. One was somewhere in New York. I forget where the second one was, and the other location was the Sphinx. So that's very interesting that it was marking all of those areas. And then another one that showed up in Indonesia had inscriptions of like six different languages found in the middle of a jungle, right? So inscriptions are six different languages, and that's what's been occurring now is these monoliths are now showing up with different things on it, and it is happening like clockwork where it disappears and then all of a sudden someone finds it somewhere else. So there is something going on here, and it's just extremely interesting to observe and almost mind blowing and kind of weird, right?